Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Nani Network. We are your hosts, Eli and Shay, and in honor of spooky season, we are doing 2 horror animes today. So anime has a plethora of, genres and types. On the Nani Network, we've mostly reviewed a lot of action animes, but gotta give some love to the other genres. Horror animes are very popular. We have, Tokyo Ghoul, we have Parasite Maxim.
They produced some of the most iconic scenes in anime ever. Like, I'll never forget when Kaneki, knocked the centipede out of his ear and then put it in the other dude's and then proceeded to eat him. I'm like...
disgusting.
And he said, don't forget, you tried to eat me first.
But yeah, horror anime has a special place in my heart. It brings the creepy. Like, regular anime brings the creepy, but when it's, the horror anime, all bets are fucking off and they go wild. So, in honor of October 31st, we're going to be reviewing 2 horror anime today. The first one we're going to bring you is The Promised Neverland. So, The Promised Neverland is a story about these 3 orphans, Emma, Ray, and Norman, who live a very happy life in an orphanage with their orphan brothers and sisters. They live a life full of joy, that is until one day the protagonists stumble upon a grisly secret. The orphanage is actually a farm where children are raised and given to demons to be eaten. Get me out of here! So, as usual, we're going to start you off with the 3 things that you need to know about The Promised Neverland.
All right, so the first thing you need to know is, as we mentioned, human children are being farmed. What the fuck?
Yes.
I think our little pod has 32 children. And eventually, they take these aptitude tests daily. They run around, they play, and basically they're being, tested.
Like a legit orphanage.
But what we realize is they're basically being tested for who's the best meat.
Before we begin, you must all be warned. Nothing here is vegetarian.
But who's the best? But all of a sudden, they realized, well, not all of a sudden, but gradually, when you're over there, they take the kids up until the age of 12, they realize that none of their friends or brothers and sisters who get adopted ever write to them or ever contact them. They never hear them, and they're all like, but we loved each other and we were friends, so how can this person who's like my brother or sister leave and never think of me again? So that was something that they always found odd. And one day when one of their friends was adopted, she forgot her favorite doll or whatever, her favorite bunny, and they decided to run down and bring it to her to see if they can catch it in time. And that's when they discussed the grave truth that fucking demons exist and the children are being farmed so that their brains can be eaten. And their brains apparently can only be eaten by this greater deity. We don't know the way they make it sound. Like it's only offering to this greater deity, but these kids are being fucking farmed for slaughter. And they're raised by a single quote unquote mom. Everyone refers to them as their mom, but mom is the one offering the pick-me up. What the fuck?
She conducts the transactions, yeah.
It's
she takes care of the kids for them.
This shit threw me for a whirl.
She's the farmer.
She's the freaking farmer with the sheep. She's the sheep herder.
They literally say she has the best product.
Right.
I suckled at your teeth. Not literally, but you've taken care of me since the kids are on the farm from age 1 or a little over under 1, when they're babies,
till 12.
But from babies till 12. So you've literally nurtured me.
For my whole life.
You pick me up when I'm crying. She takes care of them at night, make sure that they're good. She feeds them, clothes them. In every aspect of the word, you are their mother.
It's just this dark realization that she's just keeping you alive
as
her job, for fodder. And the kids are raised from the time they're infants, but at the age of 6 is when they start taking these aptitude tests, and that's basically how they gauge who's going to be quote unquote adopted next. Whoever's performing the worst from the age 6 gets shipped out first. So they want the younger kids who are getting the top marks, and that's where we meet our protagonists or our little trio, our solid little group. And they receive top marks their entire years. They're 11 pushing 12, and they're reaching their last year, and they think they're finally going to get adopted, and that's actually when they realize that everything is Tragic. But yeah, the kids fucking being farmed out here, girl.
Wild. Oh, and did we mention it was demons? Did we explicitly say demons?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just want to bring that up. Demons, like
demons again. Ding, 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 ding.
And these demons are they look scary. So
Very
Promised
creepy
Neverland wasn't an anime that had a lot of gore. I actually expected it to have it didn't have any gore, but I expected it to be a lot more. But the very first episode had me shooketh, okay? When they showed the demons, it was frightful. Like, if they had them actually wilding the fuck out, I would be concerned.
Right, me too.
So they were reserved.
Smartly dressed.
In robes. They look like fucking Harry Potter wizards. But they had I don't really know how to explain a demon. They look fucked up, right?
Yeah.
They had they were big as shit too.
They were very weird looking demons.
They had really long fingernails.
Hollowed out black eyes, long fingernails. Well, one
Some
I
of them
saw had like
one eye at the top and one eye at the bottom. They were scary motherfuckers.
I was shook for the kids.
Like these weren't the same demons that like Inspector had. Like where they had the friendly forest spirits and the
These ain't the fucking Mononoke.
They're not the Mononoke or the Akashi. No, these are I would eat your asshole out demons.
They was just saying, I wish I could nibble on her now.
Yo, they were literally saying, I wish I could have a finger of the little girl that they just killed. But neither here nor there, I guess. So, second thing that you need to know about the Promised Neverland is that not all humans are used for food. Somebody gotta do the grunt work.
But first of all, what the fuck? Like, how is that decided? Me and Shay actually have talked about this. Not all the humans are used for food because there's somebody who supplies the kids and the location with clothes for the children. And they found out that by one of the characters, a sister who was working at the orphanage, let them know, like, oh, you know, the only time I've seen any other humans was when they were bringing clothes in. I've only ever seen them once. But that just begs the question of how does this system work? How do they get these kids into this death trap? I feel like they're like in the hamster jar, like in his cage, and all they have to do is like go in there and bite it to get a little nugget out, and it's just children. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? It's so weird, and I don't understand that. If there's humans out there, how did you concede to these demons?
Well, if they're farming them, I don't think it's above the idea that they might be breeding them somewhere too. Like they have like a separate facility.
Yeah, but I'm just like, how are you out here just completely okay with them breeding and eating human children?
How's who okay with it? The other humans?
The other humans.
Oh, so are you gonna walk up to the big motherfucker with the long fingernails and tell him that you don't like that?
Well, I sure as hell ain't gonna be bringing them clothes. I ain't gonna be bringing them the clothes. Them kids will be barebacked and naked before I help you clothe them so they'll be happy. Because that's what they said, you know, any sort of emotions that are too stressful or uncomfortable will taint the human brain. So they need to keep these kids at optimum happiness and give them a plentiful, beautiful, happy life so that their brains are the best for eating. I think one last thing to mention about the fact that like humans aren't they're not the only humans in this universe is that there is a specific person who's leaving hidden messages for any of the orphans, not even specifically our protagonists, but they've been sending books into the school and they identify that it has a Morse code and it's basically letting the kids know that you are on a farm. They're trying to eat you and there's a promised Neverland. And that's just super something to think about, because if there's other humans out there, that's kind of what sparks my ideas as to how are they letting this happen. If you guys have any sort of coalition, refugee
like
camp, any sort of resistance, like I feel like their number one thing would be on their Emma shit. Like, we're about to go in here and get everybody out.
Oh no, my number one thing would be looking out for my number one, which is me.
Thank you, okay, now let that shit just mutilate her white ass and leave.
You're selfish. You're selfish.
Fuck them kids.
Yo, I've told Shay so many times that on any adventure, I'm going to be side-eyeing her because I've heard some of her responses to shit, and I'm just like, I don't know.
That's not fair. That's absolutely not
Shay,
fair.
I think you'd push us off the cliff to test it.
That's no, don't disrespect me like that. We can't post this with you out here shaming my good name. One of the things that I thought was fascinating about these kids was how smart they are. Like, now that Elijah mentioned, you know, the Morse code that they were able to pick up in a book, like, they really had me feeling like a dumbass. Like, I'm like,
and it was one of the younger kids who let Emma know.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, he found it. And I'm like, who? Bobby, who just learned how to read?
Like, they constantly showcase their intellect, and maybe it's part of like them growing up like these, free to be me and you hippie kids, and having the aptitude test and doing whatever the fuck. But like, there was one part where like Norman, one of the protagonists, he was on top of this cliff that is like a border for the farm, and he got to like the end, and he was like, yeah guys, it's on a hexagonal axis. So I didn't know what the fuck that was until he drew the picture. And like, I'm like, I could probably figure it out, but like the fact that like he wasn't just like, yeah, it's a corner, I was just like, okay, like,
right, because like once he knew that, he proceeded to like draw a map of the facilities.
Yeah, and like, he's like deducing like, okay, well, if this is here and then the house is here, then a bridge has to be here, and this is where the headquarters is by deduction. I'd be probably like planning my escape and run straight into the headquarters.
Right. Excuse me. Where's outside?
Not where's outside. Yes.
Try to go. Last but not least, is what Shanice just mentioned: the children's escape. So right off rip, because we found out that this is a human farm. The kids found out that this is a human farm, episode 1. So from then on, they are plotting how the fuck they're gonna get out here. The kids are chipped, okay? They have tracker chips in their ear, which lets the mom know the location of where people are, but not the name of who is away. And it's very rudimentary. I think they said it's not like the best technology, and that they were able to figure out a way to get it down. So they just start really like deducting, like Shay said, they're deducting the fuck out of this. They're like, we need to go this date because mom is probably anticipating us to go this date because this is closer to the next adoption. And it was just really, really smart.
Yeah, we definitely saw several examples of like how advanced these kids were. Like when they first found out the secret, it was only 3 kids who were privy to it at first, and what they tried to do essentially was to train the other kids without them knowing about the demons and the reason behind it. So they played tag with them to build up their endurance and their stamina for when they broke out so they can survive in the wild.
Right, because this jackass Emma wanted to bring everybody. She wanted to bring every single one of those fucking kids, even down to the babies, down to the people who can't walk. She said, if we're going to escape and we're going to survive, we're not going to leave any of our brothers and sisters behind.
Can I talk about what a fucking... She rose my blood pressure so much because, like, the way the trailers showed it, I thought that it was going to be Emma, Ray, and Norman.
To the end.
And I thought that they was going to peace out. And I didn't expect them to abandon everybody. Like, I expected the plan to be like, we'll, go out, we'll survey the land, make sure that it's even fucking okay, because y'all don't know shit outside of this farm. Y'all know what life is like. You could have got to the top of that cliff and looked straight into the eyes of the Titan. Because you don't know. So, like, Emma's ignorance and, like, where she's just, like, she had this Naruto optimism where it was just,
it was giving the army that doesn't kill vibe. It was like, everybody needs to stay pure and we're just going to do this because we love each other.
Like Elijah said, like, we talked about the age ranges. It's from zero. It's from
months.
0 to 12. And there's, like, 5 12-year-olds. Now, like I said, I ain't the best at this math, but 5 12-year-olds in an orphanage that has like 30 kids. So that means that you guys are the oldest. You guys are the most physically adept. And they're
technically 11, 11 turning 12. Yeah, they're 11.
You're still fucking 11. And then you have at least like 6 babies. That's not even counting toddlers. How are you going to bring them with you? Are you going to make a fucking crate, a pulley cart? And like, it does not make fucking sense. And Ray, I was fully on Ray's side. I supported Ray. Ray said no. That shit is not gonna work. It's not gonna work. But unfortunately, it's a 3-man group. So here we have Norman as the fucking tiebreaker, and he said, "Whatever my shorty want to do, we gonna do."
That really was his baby.
It was his baby. Like, no matter what the dumbass fucking idea was that Emma had, until it came down to trying to save his life, he was with it. He was with the shits.
And you know what? In the long run, he made it fucking work for her. It was Norman's plan that eventually leads to these guys actually fucking escaping. Thankfully, Emma finally came to the realization that, hey, I cannot bring everybody. And I think she ended up leaving everyone 5 and under had to stay. 6 and up, because that's the age where they actually start doing the adoptions. It's like, okay, we don't want anyone to be adopted. And if we take all the meat away, they're definitely going to let more of you guys through to the age of 12. Well, at least until I can come back and get you. So you guys aren't in immediate danger. So I'm going to take everyone who is, and we're going to get the fuck
What
home.
I thought they were going to do from the fucking beginning. Like, I just don't understand how this bitch thought she was going to bring babies with her.
Like, what they about to eat? Like,
What y'all about to
eat.
do? What you about to do with all these kids? I'm concerned with the kids y'all already have. The 6-year-olds. You like why? I think again, it should have been the 3 of y'all. Y'all should went and go and survey the land. Now you have a bunch of fucking 6 through 9-year-olds with you,
right?
And you have them out here in this uncharted territory catching hay fever and shit because you can't bring. Like, y'all have everybody has a little Georgie bundle, and that's it. So you probably got 2 change of panties and a can of soup. And how long is that gonna last? Now what y'all gonna have to do? Y'all gonna have to scavenge for food. Y'all don't have practical life skills because y'all have been not pampered, but y'all had a good life. That was the whole point of the farm. That y'all have good food. Y'all have 3 meals a day. Y'all have warm clothes and have freedom to exercise and do all of this other shit.
Right.
So now when somebody needs a tetanus shot, what's gonna happen, Emma? Huh? Now they're not going to get eaten. They're just going to die from, fucking pneumonia.
Oh my. Okay, because I'd rather die from pneumonia than being eaten. But
would you?
The children escape. How would you do it, Shay? What would you do to escape the farm?
Oh, I was staying on the farm.
Why?
Because for several reasons. Like mom said, they have a good life up until they're 12.
Mom said.
They get 3 square meals a day. And it's not like prison food.
I'm hungry more than 3 times a day.
They're eating good food. Like, they're well taken care of. And on top of that, like, we see how, like, the demons kill people. Like, it is a painless death. Again, like mom said, up until the time they die, they die knowing that they had a full, happy, loving life. That's the last thing they remember. So the demons kill people. It's not gory. I've seen some gory anime where like they're like biting you in half or like ripping you like in half from your genitals.
Yeah, Attack on Titan is very gory.
Wild. It's so wild. But in this, like, they have like a rose that they like prick in your chest and it like sucks your life force out instantly and you're done. So I'm gonna have a good life up until I'm 12. I'm hanging out with my peeps. I have good food. I'm in a loving environment, and then I die painlessly. I'm guaranteed a painless death.
And this is shit I be talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about when I say, like, now, I would not want to be with Shay on these adventures.
Now imagine some kids coming up to me like, oh yeah, it's the okie dokie. We're about to go. I'm like, okay, well, do y'all know what outside looks like? No. Okay, so how much supplies do you have? Probably for a week. Oh, okay, and you want to bring kids with you? So what are you going to do if I get sick or I need a leg amputated because I was futzing around with y'all in this uncharted territory in these woods? Do you know how to cure a snake bite, Emma? Are you going to suck the venom out? Or do you know what berries are poisonous and what berries aren't? No, I'm staying on the farm.
And
until further research is done.
I'd fully leave her. And no, even after we do the research, I'm leaving your ass.
Then you can come back and be like, okay, guys, like when I ask you questions like this, you're like, okay, well, there's a human civilization 2 miles away.
But I think when it says, hey, between being eaten and flowered versus hey, a chance at life.
You don't know what's on the other side of that wall.
You would willingly walk with mom that night knowing you're about to be eaten?
Absolutely. Well, I didn't know. Ignorance is bliss. You told me.
No, you knew. Me and Emma came and told you. Me, Emma, and Ray pull up like, yo, this is what it is.
You know what? Up until we got to the gate, I would have pulled mom on her long skirt, and I would have said, Mom, hey, just do me a solid. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them. Keeping my eyes closed, because that would have given me a little shock, and it would have ruined my good vibes. That's probably why Connie died with that shook look on her face. But again, you don't know if there's demons fully roaming that forest that you just, catapulted yourself into. Now you don't even have the honor of being like a good high-priced meal. Now you're just getting eaten out by some demon in some backwoods somewhere because didn't do
good to know you want to be a high-priced meal.
Oh, that's sickening. You like Michelle Obama pussy.
Yo.
Rather that than having a demon chewing on my fingers in the woods because y'all didn't think to do research. Proper research.
I'm caviar while you guys are McDonald's.
Yes.
Oy vey, whatever.
So wait. So you're gonna go? Well, I guess you are gonna go.
I'm absolutely gonna fucking go. I have anxiety out the ass. I would not be able to sit there knowing, God forbid I was 11 turning 12 and I know my time's up. And I would not be able to sit there and just do it.
But that's also a case where you don't really have anything to lose except death. So it's like, okay, why not? You're gonna die either way.
I have nothing to lose but my life.
You're gonna die either way. It just depends on if you're gonna get.
I thought it was my turn. We already know you're fully ready to be eaten. He's like, oh, you don't want to be eaten? Sucks to be you. Sucks to suck.
Sucks to suck.
Like, oh, you want to fight for your life, dumbass? I already said I'm saying, yeah. Mom knows and everything. He's like, fuck you, bro. I'm getting out of here.
That's wild to me. That's so wild to me.
What?
That you would choose that life.
I literally would not be able to stay there. And I'm gonna probably have the same anxiety in that forest.
Anxiety.
I'm gonna have the same anxiety in the forest. Papa Zanny
and relax.
Papa Zanny and relax. Yo, they put
why?
Zanny in
they
your
have
chest.
medicine at the house.
You know what? I just watched Dr. Stone. Nah, we can make it. I'm just saying, I'm taking my chances rather than sitting there like chickens to the fodder. Okay? But we see where our chips lay, and that's why I said it earlier, guys. I'm leaving Shay on any adventure.
I'm just saying, I would like the option.
I'm leaving you. Wow. Now I know not to even pitch the idea if I don't have all the answers. I already knew this about you, but it's like, I'm gonna come to you like, hey, we gotta go. We gotta move fast. I think it's pretty good here. You guys don't get it. Not everywhere has 3 meals.
Okay, but I don't want you to typecast me as like this person who just like, I feel like I just chose the safer option.
Risk averse.
So would that not be somebody you would want on your team?
Not if we have to take some risk to thrive.
Yeah, but the whole point of being risk averse is that you'll take the route with the minimal risk.
The route in which I'd be eaten.
Painlessly.
Bye. Like, what? But anyway, that wraps up the 3 things you need to know about this anime. Next up, in honor of Halloween and our horror animes, we decided to highlight some of the parts of this show that made us go, ah! Shay, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. So the very first episode did me in. Like, you knew that, you know, they do the little music when you know like some fuck shit is about to happen. And these poor kids, you know, thought that they was gonna go deliver their sister, her little bear. And they opened the back of this truck, and what do they see? Her lifeless body staring back at them. And like, we're like, okay, fucking weird. But then they hear something coming, they hide, and they get the glimpse of the demons for the first time, and them shits were truly terrifying. Like, kudos to the author or whoever drew it or animated it, but they were the things of nightmares.
Yeah, and like even the kids' faces were like scary too when they had like these shocked, like petrified faces, and like I was like, yo, they're in fear.
Yeah, like I don't know if I should say kudos to them for choosing not to make it gory, because if it was gory on top of the motherfuckers looking like that, I would have probably.
I agree, because I fully thought they were gonna like take Connie and slurp her and like share her right there, and they're gonna watch their friend be eaten.
I thought they were gonna suck the skin off of her bones.
But that's just the other animes we've seen where like they pushed it fucking
because
there.
These demons, like, they look crazy scary, and some of them are big as shit, like the size of a house. So it's like, it's literally like Attack on Titan, where it's like, dang, you can't even run. I mean, I guess you could run, but then they probably gonna kill you more in a more fucked up way.
Right.
So them demons was terrifying. That's what made me go, ah.
Nice. My moment is basically the introduction of Sister Krona to the orphanage's household. Like, when Mom caught on that some kids were out of the house and saw that Connie got eaten, she called in for backup, and who they sent, like, it was already intimidating. Like, okay, she's sending in for backup. Like, these kids are about to be extradited immediately and eaten. Like, I'm like, okay, that's scary in its own. But the bitch they chose is batshit crazy.
Off her fucking rocker.
She, like, was popping up on the children. Like, Ray and Norman are having a conversation about the escape, and she just walks over like, hey, kids.
She wasn't even trying to be low. Like, her whole essence when she came in was, I know y'all know.
Yo, and then just I'm putting a blanket of any moment she was in, because she's like, any kids that were grouping together, she's like, oh, Emma, Norman, and Ray knows too.
I saw it, you know. That's right, children. I saw everything. All of you were talking last night in the dining hall.
And I bet you do too, don't you? You all know the secret. I'm like, okay,
I really
get
thought
out of my
she
face.
was gonna start killing the kids. I know, that's what she gave me, and I'm like, I feel like you can't, or that you shouldn't, because it's like demon food and those are like your bosses.
Yeah.
But she gave me I will kill you vibes. Like, because she was so unstable, I saw her not even caring.
Literally not at all. And she just had all these intimidation moments with the kids where she's like putting the pressure on and putting the pressure on, and I'm literally in shock as to what's going on here. I'm like, yo, this woman is batshit crazy. And it was all in the name of her overthrowing the mom of the household. She wanted to be the mom, and she realized the mom was hiding some fuck shit, and she wanted to expose it. But the way she went about with these kids, like when she was playing tag with them and she ended up catching them all, and literally that in itself was a show of her own strength of, yo, I know y'all think y'all really good at playing tag, but guess what? I'm better.
Her and the mom did this where it was like these low-key intimidation techniques. Like when the mom first showed them the tracker.
Right.
And then Rona was like, oh, you guys want to escape? you want to run? Who do you think you are? It's me.
Keep it up. It's me. I win. You lose.
They were not understanding until she showed them. And even for like a full-grown adult, like, yes, she was running against kids, and it's like, okay, what the fuck are kids? No, they showed that this bitch ran like a gazelle.
Yeah.
Like, it was y'all had a snowball's chance in hell.
Yeah, so like Sister Krona was, I guess, my character / moment. She provided the moments for me that I was kind of like, okay, the anxiety and the pressure's on. Next up, we are going to lock that bitch in for A Promised Neverland. Hootie ho. I'll go first. I think, like, there's an obvious one that you could lock in, but what I am gonna lock in is that something's gonna happen, and I think that their group is gonna get split up. Or I think when they find this Promised Neverland, they're not gonna accept all the kids. Like, I think something's gonna happen where this fairy tale that Emma's living in, still sort of living in, like, oh, you made it across the cliff with all the kids, hurrah! And now, like, here's a reality check. We might not even have enough food for like 25 fucking kids. It's like, yeah, she left all the kids who were under the age of 5 there, but that was only like 6 to 8 kids. Like, what are we gonna do with 20 extra heads? So I think like something's gonna happen, or there's gonna be some sort of situation where that team is gonna get chopped the fuck in half. And it serves Emma right. Like, you should not. You should have known better. You should have left them right at the getting 3 square meals a day with Shay and ready to getting ready for slaughter. And now, you know, you would have lost some of them, but you would not have lost all of them. And so now that fault is gonna be on you. And I think that is something that her character needs. Dead ass.
Fuck with her psychologically.
Yeah, you know, I think that's gonna push her character development forward. Cause like, oh, I did this. Yes, you did.
Wow.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, she did.
You did. You're dumb. But that's what I'm locking in for her ass.
Okay, so for my lock that bitch in, I'm locking in that the mom is gonna have a change of heart. So as we saw, like, throughout the season, the mom, I don't know if evil is the word for her, but more so like resigned. Like, she knew what her job was, and she's like, I do believe that she thought that, like, that she cared for the kids, but I also believe that, you know, everybody in this anime, like, who knows the truth, I'm pretty sure that they have some type of like psychological problem. Not problem, but like some type of what
mental block?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like more than that. Like, I want to say bigger than that.
They've
but
been brainwashed like their whole lives.
Like,
I think.
To operate in this world, you have to. I don't know if she does drugs at night. Probably not, because she got to wake up in the middle of the night to take care of these goddamn kids. But something was off with her, and I think that was her coping I think that was her coping mechanism, because like you cannot like just like suppressing and just like doing her job and like being like the little shady bitch that we think her to be. But I think that once the kids escaped, it gave her like some hope. I actually thought she was gonna kill herself because like they showed like she had like this. It looked like she had a little internal realization or something, and like she let her hair down and she looked like a fucking ghost on top of the wall, and we see her taking down the ropes that the kids use to like zip line to the other side, and it looks like she's gonna hide them. But I think that was like a little beacon of hope for her. So I think that she's gonna take care of these set of kids, and I think that she's gonna aid them in the future in maybe getting the other kids off the farm. I even see herself probably sacrificing herself for the kids.
I was gonna say she better don't before she get her brain fucking eaten.
Because I mean they don't like adult brain, so she's gonna die fucked up. Well, actually no, I think they kill the adults the same way. They just don't. I don't know what they do with the bodies, but I think that's just that mom has a change of heart.
Okay, cute.
It's the least she could fucking do. All right, and last but not least, we have our Nani ratings. So I can go first on this one. Promised Neverland was a good show. It had a good premise. For me, season 1 was kind of a slow burn. I feel like it took a little while to really get started. Based on the trailers that I saw, I thought that the show would have progressed a little faster. I thought that Norman, Ray, and Emma would have been on the run like as soon as they found out what happened in episode 1. I expected episode 2 they was the fuck out of there. I really didn't expect them to be like
fuck out of there.
like I may be a coward and I'm gonna stay in the house, but if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go. What the fuck am I futzing around here for? Like I would have packed my shit that night and we was the fuck out, okay?
So it's either like come to me with a concrete plan or just go out. Like
let's be out. So that's what I thought it was, because you see them in the trailer like running around the forest. Come to find out that's just their fucking backyard. Like they live in Georgia or something. But yeah, I thought it was going to progress a lot faster. I'm not upset at it because I like the way they set the foundation for the season, where they introduce some other figures, like the guy who wrote the book, letting people know that it's a farm. And also at the end, we saw the mom, Isabel, when she was younger, they kind of showed her hanging out with this one guy. And I want to say that guy is the one who wrote the books and is leading the children out. I have no proof or any reason to think that. It's just that when they hover the camera on one character, I feel like they're going to play a purpose in the future. So the story progressed a little slowly for me, but I do see the purpose in it, and the plot was very enjoyable. I like it. I would have maybe liked if it had a little bit more gore. I wanted to see kids getting ripped in half. It would have made it a little exciting for me, and it wouldn't have been, sometimes it was kind of dull, had the dull moments. So I'm going to set Promised Neverland at a 7.
Okay, yeah, that's a decent rating for them. I thoroughly enjoyed A Promised Neverland. Actually, like I ate through it and texted Shay like, "Yo, I just killed this anime in a night, like into its entirety." So I would say it was really cool. I enjoyed the ride I was on. When I watched that first episode and I was like, oh, okay, damn, it's really like kids. Because I didn't watch the trailer. I didn't really know like too much about what this was about. I did see some pics on Instagram, but I didn't think it was all kids, you know? And so I'm like, okay, wow, it's kids. And then like that scene with Connie that Shay mentioned in her moment that made her say, I was like, yeah, this shit is it. And I want to see what's going on. So it was just really cool. The kids are really smart. They were innovative in how they were training the other kids. They made a decision and they stuck to it. I didn't agree with that decision to bring all those fucking kids, but they made a decision, they stuck to it, and they came up to a plan to make it something that was actually feasible. And I really enjoyed watching them do that. I enjoyed Sister Krona. I didn't like mom at all because I was like, damn, you know, I'm a mama's boy. You know, you can't be these people's mama and then be dubbing them like that. Do you know how psychologically fucked up that is? Like, you better ask them to have your eyes closed, Shay. Because can you imagine mom and you don't know and you just look at your mom like, Mom, what are these things? They're here to eat you, baby. You go,
imagine for like the kids who weren't eaten, because like remember for Isabella and her mom giving her, like the two demons were flanking the grandmother.
Yeah.
And her mother like was like, here you go, sweetie, and gave her to the grandma. And it's like, and I think that was when she was like, she checked. I think that's when she checked out. She checked the fuck out.
Right. So it's like I really enjoyed a lot of the aspects of this anime, and I really enjoyed it. I just killed it. I cannot wait for season 2. Like I'm really surprised because I think now they were confined to this hexagonal plantation and now they're out in the world. What the fuck is gonna go on? Like they didn't give us any information about like the demon society, if there even is a society, or like, you know, what exactly is going on. They're preparing for this holiday. What is this holiday? Who is this deity or this grand demon that they're serving these kids to? So I am really interested. I'm going to put them at an 8. And I feel like I'm putting them a little low for like how much I liked it, but I'm going to put them at an 8. I think that's good for them. It was a lot of fun. I liked watching A Promised Neverland a whole lot. And I'm glad they left those kids.
The babies, the fucking babies. I couldn't get over them and these babies.
All right, next up on the list, we have Devilman Crybaby. In this, Akira Fudo learns from his best friend Ryo that demons will revive and reclaim the world from humans. With humans hopeless against this threat because why the fuck not, Ryo suggests combining with a demon. With this, Akira becomes the Devilman and be a being with the power of a demon, but the heart of a human.
He's a pussy.
He's a crybaby. And that's the gag that I didn't catch, but watching it, I'm like, oh.
I didn't think they would make it a literal translation.
Wah, wah. But as usual, we're going to be giving you the three things about three things you need to know. What? About this anime. And Shay, give him the first.
All right, so the first thing that you need to know about Devilman Crybaby is about the Devilman, but more importantly, the demons. So in this world, the demons are this prehistoric race of ancient mutants that were created by God. These demons have superhuman strength and durability, but specific demons have abilities that vary between each other. So one ability that many of the demons share is the ability to merge with other creatures. So they can merge with animals. I think they had an example of some demons merging with plant life, but they can also merge with humans. Mm-hmm. So when the demons merge with humans, they usually take over that human's physical form as well as their consciousness, and the demons have full control of the body. However, there are special circumstances where some humans retain their personality after the merge and are able to control their demon counterpart. So this is what's known as the Devilmen. So our series protagonist Akira is one of these Devilmen who, when merged with the demon Amon, still retains control of his being. Yeah.
And he just gains the dexterity, the super strength, the super speed, when he transforms, of a demon. And
it also transforms your human body, like you're hotter.
She wants the dick.
You're fitter.
You're hotter.
I think they look hotter. Like, because he definitely had a 360. Like, bitches was on his dick after that transformation.
They definitely were. And
they was giving him all they curry for lunch. Eat my curry. No, eat my curry.
He's like, I'm not even fucking hungry.
Yeah, but, they look at his Johnson and everything. I said, these are some horny bitches.
High school child. There was a couple like that. But the demons are, what's important about the link between the demons is, I believe in order for them to even like remain on this plane, they have to fuse with some sort of living organism, no matter what it is. That's why we meet this character, Cyrene, who was sitting around waiting for Amon to, I don't know, descend? Or like, be chosen to find his vessel to inhabit, because she's sitting around waiting for him because that's her hubby, that's her man. So she's been saving herself for him. So when he gets there,
I think they were involved before.
Yeah, that's her man. Literally, that's her hubby, that's her man. What does hubby and man mean? I think they were involved.
Shut up. No, I thought you meant like she was just like, this was like just her thinking that.
No,
like
that was her man.
It wasn't
she's sitting there waiting for him, and it's weird. And so when she saw that somebody as powerful as Amon had been silenced by this lowly, weak little boy, like, she was literally in shock. She didn't believe. She was like, just assume the form and come be my man. And I was gonna say, fuck me, but literally that's it. That is what Shorty was saying. She's like, fucking.
She was ready.
But the Devilman and the demons, like, they are ultimately an underground society, and people, at least initially, are not aware of their existence. It's not a known thing. Like, oh, I thought it was because the demons were fully like, flying in the sky and like doing a lot of these things. And I'm like, what's that giant bird humanoid thing? Like,
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's John C.
In the sky. But they weren't being low. Like, clearly they didn't give a fuck. They're killing anybody who finds out anything. But I was just like, that's
They
not
were
doing
fully
it for
having
me.
like orgies in clubs.
Oh my God.
Yo, this show is fucking wild.
Absolutely wild. They said, yo, all demons typically need is a little bit of blood and they'll show themselves. And
a little bit of action, because like he was like, this is pretty tame. Like, I don't think, like, in the middle of a full fucking orgy, like, I think they're popping pills and everything too, and he's just like, yeah, no, they're not gonna come for this.
He had to like, did he like slit someone's throat?
He started attacking people. He broke a bottle. We're talking about Rio. He broke a bottle and was just attacking people at random in the club.
And then all of a sudden, titties flying, teeth, gore. Like, the demons are just literally
transforming, yeah,
combusting out of people. I think, like, you know, like, it's a forceful transformation into your true self, the demon. Like, people don't even know that a demon's inhabiting them until it decides to show itself. You provoke it.
Bitches perched on the railing and their vaginas have grown teeth and tongues, and it's like...
The craziest visuals, man. Ugh.
And that's from episode 1. Like, Devilman, it doesn't ease you into it. It doesn't warm you up. Like, like I think from like halfway in episode 1, they said, this is what we about.
This is
you
it.
either with it.
This is what you're watching.
Or you're going to get lost.
And boy, I was with it a little bit. The next thing you need to know about this series is Ryu. Ryu is our main protagonist, Akira's best friend, and I don't know, low-key mentor because he's a little bit older than him. They've known each other for years apparently, and Ryu is a professor, and he's the one who kind of clues Akira into the existence of demons. He allegedly discovers the existence of them, and he wants him to merge with the demons so that they can silently combat this nuisance.
Or at least that's what he says, bitch ass.
Right. So Akira willingly works with him to do this, but what?
I was going to talk about how he like tricked Akira in the first episode. When he's like, oh, come to the club. And then like, it was just wild to me. So he's like, come to the club. And then that's when he starts like attacking people. So the demons can come, then demons show up. And he takes out his fucking tape recorder and it's like, Amon!
Yeah.
Amon! He said, merge with him. I would be fucking livid.
Yeah.
If my friend, Elijah, if you take me to the club, we having a good old time. I said, okay, orgy, this is different. And then, you know, you start fucking cutting people with a beer bottle. I'm out.
Right.
I'm out. And then to hear you screaming
for a demon
to come and possess me, that's, and the fact that he was not mad at him. Like, they were fully friends. Like,
yeah, he fully wasn't that guy.
You fed me to a demon. You don't know how this was gonna end. That relationship was wild. He should have been dead to you from episode 1.
Right. So that's what I was saying, where it's like Ryu kind of, after he displayed him, this best friend they're hugging, consistently throughout the series, he starts doing some really weird fuck shit. One of them being that club scene, and then another one where he formulates his plan to expose demons to the world, and through this other guy, this what was he, the most talented runner, they found out that he was another Devilman, and they were going to use him as a way to expose him to the expose demons to the world. And the plan was to basically expose him, get it on camera, and let him run rampant out of the stadium where they were having it held, and let the Devilman Akira take care of the man. But he did not do that. He let just straight anarchy, bacchanal go down in that freaking.
He had no regard for human life, and I don't understand how Akira didn't see this from the very beginning. Because again, in the club scene, to make the demons appear, he started attacking people, and I don't like. He was stabbing people in the chest. I think like he was slitting some throats. But then again, now to the stadium scene. They're in like a track and field court, like in this like a stadium. I know, I didn't know what else to call it. But he has like the gates pulled down. Yeah. And people are running to the gates trying to get out, and he intentionally keeps the gates closed so that the demon can kill everybody. And it's like, okay, so obviously that was your plan.
And this is a high school track meet.
Yeah.
Like, this is Akira's high school track meet, and he literally just is letting the demon run rampant. It's literally a bull. It was a bull demon. Like, put in a nutshell, it didn't look like quite like a bull, but it literally had the bull kind of stance and the horns, and it's literally going around stampeding, crushing heads. They had this scene where this guy was just like chilling there, listening to his music. Baba.
from
wet
the
ass
top,
pussy.
make it
And then like he doesn't even know what's going on. He's seeing people running, but guess what? I'm
his
at a
eyes are
fucking track
closed.
meet.
Yeah, he's zoning
like,
out.
And he's zoning out, getting ready, and like he just gets crushed. Like he gets fucked up. So Ryu continues to do all these questionable fucking things that are not. That isn't good. That isn't what he was saying. It was in the name of protecting humanity. Because flash forward to after he now exposes demons, the world is going to shit.
He instigates a lot of the turmoil between the demons and the humans. Like, you see him, he's like a fucking Twitter fingers. He's online. He's sending out these posts to get like people rock, because he has a big following, because he's like a rich young professor. So he has like it's like if Beyonce was like, hey, I think your neighbor might be a demon. Everybody go kill your neighbor.
Right, yo.
That's what it was
or
like.
It's like the president like tweeting all the time. But that happens. But that's real life. But yo, he is just an overall fuck nigga, as we come to see. And then to top it all off, like at the very end, we hear him blatantly say that he's fucking Satan. So pause. Because I don't get how like we got, because he's blonde hair, blue eyed, and a lot of the time he's wearing white. And I'm like,
he looks like a white man.
It's like that revelation for me was like, how the fuck could I not have seen this?
Right, because he always showed us who he was. From the very first time we saw him, like when he went to come fetch Akira, this nigga showed up with a machine gun and like shot indiscriminately
at pedestrians,
at some kids. Yeah, because I think they talked back to him or something. And not even like on some like cocky shit. Like it's literally just like he's out of his fucking mind.
Yeah. So
I remember too when he tried to kill Akira's friend. She saw, so she needs to die. And the guy's mother, he always did fuck shit.
He was like, yo, like, we gotta protect this shit at all costs. And like, I guess it was like under the guise that, you know, these quick little explanations he gave, it was like, oh, okay, well, he's with the protagonist, he's a good guy. But no, this man was fully
I never
Satan.
thought he was a good guy. I always thought that Akira was a dumbass, because I'm like, bro, choose your friends. He was so wildly a dick that Akira pissed me off so much, because it was just like, you never even like opposed him or was against anything that he did, because after he did that shit at the stadium where he had all those people get killed, you're over here calling him, asking him for favors. Hey, you know who can help track your mom? My friend. Oh, your friend. The one who has the world going up in smoke and flames right now.
Hey, that's his baby.
I did not understand that relationship. So the last thing that you need to know about Devilman Crybaby is humanity, right? About how humanity was displayed. This anime displayed human nature so shockingly realistic. That was probably one of the most disturbing things about the anime to me. Like, even outside of the gore and, you know, the titty monsters and the pussy zombies. Like, outside of all of that, it was how they portrayed human beings to be. So after shit goes up in flames and then, you know, they bring in the military, like, I very much see this happening. Yeah. Right? They bring in the military to fight the demon plagues, but demons are indistinguishable from humans once they've merged. So there is like they're not, well, I was gonna say they're not taking them to labs to get tested, but they are. But they're obviously doing, like, they're not. There's no HIPAA going on right now, right?
They don't have any technology to freaking actually accurately identify these people, so they're just pulling people off the fucking street.
It's literally a witch hunt. You know, she ran kind of fast in high school. Like, I think she might be a witch. And then you also have vigilantes, like regular humans who are saying that they're trying to get rid of the demons, but like, no, you're just doing this to be a dick.
Running a fucking muck. Get your guns. I swear this guy, I always knew my fucking neighbor was one of them damn demons. All I needed was them to confirm it.
Or the people who aren't like killing indiscriminately are like robbing people, right? Like one guy went up, somebody asked for directions, and it looked like a little old lady. And they pulled out a gun on him. It was like, give me your fucking wallet.
Like, shit is going up in flames, and you just know that's what's gonna happen.
Hey, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
Everybody calm down. No, Michael, no.
If something were to actually happen like this in New York City, in anywhere, it's like, yo, when shit hits the fan and people now have to question their neighbors.
That's terrifying. It's so terrifying. And it's literally whoever has like the most firepower or who's strongest is gonna win. And it's, you know, and then you also see like just how evil people can be, because like, again, outside of the robbing and the senseless killing, other people are taking advantage of this opportunity to like rape people, because I think we saw like 2 of those examples where they were just like, hey sweetie, you know, come on over here. But you know, that nigga picked on the wrong bitch and he ended up fucking a demon and she killed him.
And even the other aspect as to now, like, certain people, like I forgot her name, Miki's little brother ended up being a fucking demon.
Oh my god.
And now his mom like abandoned the family and ran to protect him because she just left her girlfriends who were talking shit about some other woman who was protecting her son for being a demon. She's like, okay, well, I need to get the fuck out of here. Fight or flight. That's
Miki's
another
mom
aspect.
was a dumbass, if you ask me.
I didn't. So
Yikes. Well, I'm gonna give my 2 cents anyway. Miki's mom was a dumbass because, first of all, that's your son. Yes, if you're gonna protect him, you might as well just take him home, or you should have killed that little nigga, honestly, because hello, demon, and he can't control himself. He couldn't even stop himself from eating somebody's chihuahua.
He could learn. He's still conscious. Maybe he's a Devilman.
Oh, but he ate her though.
She had faith. I'm not asking you that question. we don't know what you might have done. Would you have taken your child? No, I would have eaten him. You would have killed him. You would have taken your baby out.
Because he to me already looked lost, because like he ate the like if she would have found out sooner, because I remember the friends who were talking shit, they were like, how do you not know your own kid is like a demon? And she didn't realize that this guy had like whole mascara on his eyes, look completely different.
I peeped that too. I was like,
he has it looks like somebody punched him in both eyes, and you didn't realize that nothing was wrong.
Say not present
until
parents.
now it's too late and he's eating people's dogs. So once that happens and you know the child is lost for good.
First of all, how do you zone out
I
that
think
much
you need
that
to,
you don't notice your child
you
and
need
you don't
to,
notice your dog is gone?
I don't think that was her dog.
No, I know, like, you don't notice your child, and the other person, you don't notice your dog is gone. Like, the child and the dog just disappeared, and no one's like, oh.
Well, I think at that point, we knew that he was a lost cause, and I let the chips lay where they may.
But it just really showcased the different varieties of humanity. Everybody was put in their own flight, whether you were a Devilman, whether you were a demon, whether you were one of the humans, or whether you were in the military doing all the fuck shit that was going on. Like, it just showed the accuracies of humanity. And that wraps up the 3 things you need to know about Devilman Crybaby. Next up, we're going to do moments that made you say, ha! Shay, do you want to go first?
No, you go first.
For me, it's definitely going to be a scene that we touched on earlier, which was the track and field meet gone murder. That shit was, I think, one of the goriest anime moments I've seen ever.
It was bad.
It was a lot of blood to the point where I kind of started feeling uncomfortable. And like, I usually don't feel, it's animated. I usually don't feel uncomfortable. I was like, okay, he's smashing heads. He was hooking people on his horns. Like, he was murdering them in any possible way.
Yeah.
A bull stampeding demon could.
It was also ways that you know they didn't die instantly.
Yeah. And then, you know, they're given the aerial view. So you're literally seeing that this track, if you've been to a track, you know how big that shit, like half of that shit was coated in blood. I'm like, yikes. And then just Ryu's being a dickhead, like, hey, we're the only ones streaming it, so we're gonna get the only coverage on this, and our careers are gonna be amazing.
We're not turning it off.
Just actively manipulating the situation and just the gore of it all. That was just, what the fuck? Somebody save them. Like, I was just telling Shay about how, like, when they were trying to escape and they took that one route and they were all, like, basically in this tunnel with the gates closed, waiting for slaughter. It's like there was nothing they could do. And A1. Claps for them for that. That was a crazy, crazy fucking gory scene.
You go, Glen Coco.
So a moment that made me say, was when, so after everything, like, shit hit the fan and people know that demons exist now, it was like open season. So on top of, like, the humans being dickheads and fighting each other, the demons are also like, oh, like, word, we don't have to hide anymore.
Yeah.
So it's random demons just like showing their ass because they can, and who's gonna stop them? So there was like images of like the demons like scaling apartment buildings. Mm-hmm. Like, imagine you in your house and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna stay out of it. I got enough food and whatever. and the fucking bird demon just shoots in through your bedroom and like, it fucked me up because I'm like, dang, it's nothing you can do. It's literally like no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
You're fucked with the other humans and you're fucked from the demons. And the demons were pissed off at the humans because the humans was doing fuck shit and killing indiscriminately. So like the demons are like, who the fuck do y'all think y'all are?
Yeah.
So now they're also attacking like innocent people, and it was just an open season of fuck shit.
Oof.
And I was not here for it. I said, this is terrifying to me because like, I would have to kill myself. I would fully have to go. I would have to sign out.
Too much question.
Because
I feel you on that. That's crazy.
At the end of Devilman Crybaby, you see like it's not even like post-apocalyptic in a sense where like there's like the shell of buildings and humans are trugging along. There's like some clusters of them together. No, it was hell on Earth.
Yeah.
If anyone watched Teen Titans when Slade came to Earth,
yeah,
that's what it reminds me of. Like, so you can't even hope to be like a sole survivor on your I Am Legend shit because the world is burning. It's boiling, kind of like it is right now in California.
Stop.
That's not funny, but accurate. Like.
Next up.
You see, you're laughing about it and making us look bad.
We're gonna go ahead and give our Nani rating because I believe this show is a one and done, right, Shay?
I would hope so, honestly.
I would hope so.
It gave me a lot. It gave me a lot, and I said, this really bummed me out. I don't want to continue.
So, do you want to go first with your Nani rating?
I could go first. So, Devilman Crybaby was definitely an acquired taste, and that's mostly for me due to the animation style. It looked like it looked like drawings.
Yeah.
So it looked like it wasn't that clean, crisp animation that you're used to. It like Elijah had mentioned, which was a good point, that it looked very Samurai Jack-ish, but worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that took some getting accustomed to, but by the end, it really didn't bother me that much. This show was wild. It was so wild. I don't know if it was intended to be funny, but I found the show fucking hilarious.
Right.
There were scenes that I was just like, y'all are wild when they have bitches pussies transforming and killing people. Like the way that it just did. Okay, if anyone watches this show, watch it high on your drug of choice, but I recommend being inebriated. It will blow your fucking mind. The plot was interesting. It was definitely something. Well, this Devilman Crybaby is a remake, but like the plot in of itself was interesting and new to me. And like Elijah had mentioned earlier, like we didn't even know. I like when things can still catch me off guard. So like not even knowing that Ryu was Satan, like it shows that it was like a decent storytelling or a decent progression. And if nothing else, like with all the fuck shit that went on, Devilman Crybaby was entertaining. I was thoroughly entertained for the entire show. So I'm going to give Devilman Crybaby a 6.5, which is a lot higher than I actually thought I was going to give it. So I'm shocked right now.
Nice. For me, I killed this show pretty quickly, but then again, it's like 10 episodes long. So like, what do you expect? I didn't like Akira that much, but I thought the show was really, really fun. Like, if nothing else, like I was sitting on my couch cackling at shit, and like Shay said, I don't think it was intended to be funny, but I think just like the premise and just what was going on, like Cyrene would be like masturbating and turning into a freaking demon when she climaxes.
If he meets me, Amon will get his old heart back.
And what if he doesn't?
I will get rid of him if that happens. Then I will just devour his manhood.
It's like, what the fuck is actually going on my screen right now? Like, if somebody peeks through my window and sees what's going on, like, what is this
There's
shit?
several times I caught myself turning down the volume because all you heard was like incessant moaning.
Yeah, it's like it's creep level 100 watching this shit, and it's hilarious. So I really enjoyed watching it for that aspect. But as far as a horror anime goes, because when we chose this, I was pretty prepared to see, I don't know, a different type of horror. I don't know, because I've watched Attack. Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna go for the gore. I watched like Attack on Titan and people who've like done the gore, but then they also have like this storyline that like I think the storyline for horror animes are what make them. I think you really had to have that compelling thing. You had to make me scared as fuck. Like with A Promised Neverland, like there was a couple moments when I was like, yo, I'm shook. Like if they find these kids right now, it's done for them. And you know, I don't know. Devilman kind of like fell into himself and he was like Devilman popping off and killing demons off rip. And I was like, you know, they could have given a lot more storyline. They could have given that other girl who really wanted to be Miki a little bit more depth than just her being jealous of Miki and like, you know, a real storyline. So like that's where they were really lacking with me in that, but it was entertaining otherwise. So I'm going to give them a 5. They're halfway for me. Like it was a fun watch. Will I willingly watch season 2? Not like intentionally, but I think if I'm scrolling and I see that there's a season 2 out, I do that sometimes. I'll be like, holy shit. And I'll watch it in a day. So I see it as one of those, but it was cool.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's that on that. All right, so that concludes Devilman Crybaby. But before we go, we are going to ask you guys a question for the gram. This week, we are going to ask you, what is the goriest anime scene you've watched? There is a whole genre of horror anime, and it's gone spanned fucking decades. So we want to know, what's the goriest shit you've watched? What made you cringe, and what made you turn the TV off? Hit us up at official90 network in the comments and let us know your thoughts. Maybe you'll be featured on one of our episodes. As usual, make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to us. And any questions you have, hit us up at official90 network. Laters, guys.
Later.